and we have another casted game of Age of Mythology to watch. And on this side is LordHaart. So this is apparently another account for Cragghack. We were just saying about how he's just zoomed up the elo like absolutely crazy, and this account is like 1960 something. And it was previously 1600 like a month ago. So this guy, he was the Thor player. We've made a video about him playing Thor, and he is just absolutely locked in, dialed in like crazy. And he's playing up against one of the best Age of Mythology players in the world currently, which is Matty El Matador, probably the highest APM top player that there is. He is also, I believe he's an AoE 2 guy as well. I know he plays one of the other Age of Empires titles. I'm pretty sure it's AoE 2, which is why his micro is insane, because you need good micro to be good at that game. And he's also, oh, he is AoE 2, because he plays in those tournaments too. The same as B plays in the AoE 4 tournaments. It's an absolutely crazy time. But we're going to be watching El Matador on his Poseidon and LordHaart on the Odin, showing he's not just... maybe I'll call him LordHaart for this one, but showing that he's not just a Thor player. Dropping the temple, going for... Is he going to go for something very really similar? So it looks like he doesn't have any dwarves. So maybe he is a build order connoisseur, and that's where he decides to get his advantages from. So he's going for a pretty early temple with the Odin here. Potentially to get out a Valkyrie nice and early. That could be an option to do that one. Go in the Poseidon's main base, get a Valkyrie, get some sort of small amount of damage done before the Atalanta comes through. The issue is that as soon as the Atalanta is out, she is faster from memory, so she'll be able to gun that one down until she gets that nice upgrade to speed her up a little bit. But if that is what he's going for or not, I'm not sure.
What are you doing
And Ragnaroks
here?
with the fat raid. Thank you very much. Hope you had some good team games going. Might do some team games later, perhaps, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But welcome in. Woos Wednesday. I definitely should. Wednesday's the other day that I do stream pretty often. It's normally a Monday, Wednesday affair, and then the other days are kind of, reserved for other things. So, we got to have some AOM time. And I believe it looks like a 4-minute advance time. Definitely, if you're an Odin fan or even a Norse fan of any kind, this is the guy to watch for your build orders. Absolutely crazy. Like, this is so completely different than what we're used to. And he gets a nice 3-minute advance time, so he'll be up at 4 minutes. Does have... How many dwarves does he have out? And he has two dwarves, though. Not really sure what the exact reasoning is to want less dwarves, because what you can do is you can get... I mean, obviously, he got the early temple. What am I saying? That was the reason. He wanted the early temple to get the extra scouting in with his ravens, to get his hearses out earlier. Although, did he get any hearses? No, he didn't get any hearses. So there was a Soup build previously. Soup was in the chat. Where he got the temple as fast as physically possible, so he could get an extra scout out early, or more or less a scout than actually finding those relics. Because the relics, they all give a little bit of favor trickle now. So if you end up getting a Hersa at about 2.5 minutes, then you can snag all of the relics. You take the relics from your opponent's half, so you would take this one, you would take this one, then grab the ones in your side, and you get basically 4 extra Hersas worth of favor gather rate, which is pretty nice. LordHaart, this side, will be putting his wooden wall up house on this side, and Matty did go for a pretty standard uptime, nothing absolutely crazy, not going for some early aggression. And that Valkyrie will be coming in. Oh, she is quicker. I don't know why I thought the Valkyrie was slow. Atalanta's like 5.9 or something, isn't she? 5.6. Oh, she's been nerfed. She is slow. So the Valkyrie's fine. Could have gone and got some early damage. But we're asking who the special guest is. We don't know. We don't know who the special guest is. The special guest could be anybody. It's an up-and-comer to the scene. And the Valkyrie's actually going to go back. So the early advance time from the Odin, not really getting too much done. But it seems like the meta nowadays is just get an earlier and earlier advance time. I don't know whether this is because the Misters come in, or whether or not there's another reason, because the Mister is obviously known for his very fast advance times to put pressure on, or something like that. So the Centaur is trying to get a little bit of damage done. But the Hearses, even though they are obviously Odin Hearses, they're not the fastest. That'll be more than enough to scare away the Poseidon Centaur. Nice walls on this backside. The map is Tundra. I didn't really mention this. So the players can sit in their base for quite a while. This Odin versus Poseidon matchup could definitely turn into a bit of a raiding affair. And Atalanta trying to get in, do some damage. These small bits of damage don't really do too much in the long run, especially on the Hippias and just the Odin units, because they can both heal themselves back up. The ones that it's really going to matter on is taking something so low that it's going to take ages to actually heal up, or taking something out, or from the Poseidon side, anything that's not a horse, basically. Even the Centaur, a half horse, he doesn't heal back up. So you do have to watch out getting some chip damage on those guys. But trading blows back and forth. So the Odin players deciding to go for Hamask, which is the Berserk upgrade. Berserks did have a little bit of a cheeky buff. So they have 10%, well, I say cheeky buff, 10 extra HP, more than 10%, 10 extra HP, but it looks like they're taking a fight they probably can't win. The Hippie is doing pretty well. There was a forest fire on this side, but Matty's pretty quick with it. Looks like he might lose one villager if you can animation cancel that Valkyrie. Looks like that didn't happen, so it needs to be on top of it. It looks like LordHaart was looking on this side, and the Hippias are going to be winning this side, and no villagers down on this side. So I think Matty won that little exchange here. Isn't paying attention with those villagers, absolutely is. It's very hard to snipe an El Matador villager, and if the Theseus gets on this Valkyrie, it won't take very many shots, and she will survive. So the Poseidon's definitely getting the better of this early game. Nothing absolutely crazy, but it's kind of surprising to see the Odin go through Freya and then go for pure longhouses. Pure longhouses, there's no there's none of the other building, the Great Halls. Oh my god, forgot what it's called. No Great Halls, which is quite surprising. Actually, that's pretty interesting. For some reason, I just completely forgot that Great Halls are new buildings for Retold. There was an old Voight video that came up on my YouTube suggested. That was from like 4 years ago, so I just thought I would give it a watch. I think it was a Soup versus somebody game, Soup versus Pegasus, I think, and there was like triple longhouse spam, and I was like, where are the Great Halls? And then I just realized that Great Halls were a thing for this game. And there's actually, when you think about it, from the original game to Retold, there's quite a lot of those extra changes that kind of went in, and I just think Retold's just such a better game overall for those little changes. So shout out to the devs. They need a bit of love. 2 long houses for Ulf spam, 3 for raid and cavalry spam. That's it. And you pressed it, you hit your auto cue button, and then that was it on the old game. But the Odin here is playing a pretty nice defensive game. Has set up his walls on this top side. Will be able to go for those caribou. Did use his Great Hunt at some point. He used it on that second pack on the back, which is really nice play. Take the front hunt first. Save your Great Hunt for the second age, because it gets you a little bit extra food. I think it's 200 extra food, so it's not anything major. But if you can save a second pack of hunt in your main base, which is literally just Tundra, then you might as well. It's like Matty's trying to get some damage done on this side. And while this is going on, Mr. LordHaart, second account for Cragghack, is going to be having a look through. And the Odin, respecting the raid, just pulls off, goes all the way back to the town center. No right click, kind of shift click back. Just really wants to go all the way back. Could get watchtowers in. Looks like that is what he wants to go for. Get that watchtowers. Even go crenellations if he really wants to definitely defend. Probably not enough left in the gold mine to really warrant that decision at this point. And it looks like there was a Hersa trying to get a relic. Has managed to sneak through the wooden gate there, which is nice. And the Berserk raids are coming in. And look at them just swipe down those villagers. El Matador was not expecting it at all. Does have some units back. Only lost, what was that, 2 villagers, I think? So not the most brutal of raids. But I mean, just look at how the Berserks will trade into these Hippias. They have 15% hack armor versus 35. And the Berserks are actually not not too slow either. 5.3 speed versus 5.7. The issue is if they're going to get caught out by this large group of units, what the Odin player needs to do here is bring all of his ones here if he wants to make this fight happen. Otherwise, they're all going to get caught out. How slippery are these berserks? Can they run around? Looks like they're pretty slippery. It's like he's not going to lose as many as I thought. And then Herdman on this side coming through. A moose stream at this hour. This is usual moose hour. This is prime moosing hours. This one. If it's a Monday or a Wednesday. If it's not, then it's not a prime moosing hour. Poseidon, Matty deciding to go to the next stage, once just Dionysus. Kind of standard. And this is where the matchup would usually turn. If you were seeing the Odin player go into pure Great Halls with all the raiders, then the heroic age for Matty would be, okay, now I get the Prodromus out, I get the Thracian horses, and I'm just winning. It looks like he's still doing that, but definitely not as good in this kind of matchup. Yeah, Thracian horses is an insane upgrade. Looks like the Odin is going to lose some villagers here. Doesn't have his upgrade to make them tankier, but I mean, the Herdman on this backside, look at the amount of bonus damage they do. ×4. If they even sniff a horse coming close, they'll take that guy down very quickly. But Matty does get out. Has his box formation, protect his centaur, keep all his units pretty close together. And that's a nice time. It's like the Odin does want his crenellations. I mean, there is still these berries that he has to watch out for. Nice wall on this side. It doesn't defend too much, but I guess it's just worth it for if you expect the horses to run in at any point. Matty is in the heroic age, so he's going to secure himself a nice gold mine. Doesn't need any walls. Can just have his fortress right next to it. Then if he's expecting a raid to come in, jump in that fortress. Always a nice way to play. And we do have heavy cavalry for Thracian horses. So he's really sticking to this horse angle. Just pure cavalry. This is how we see Kavoth play Poseidon too. It's like, no matter what your opponent's doing, even if it's pure counter units, it's like, yeah, but horses are good. They get double upgrade, basically triple if you count Poseidon's speed. Nice find here. And this is why the crenellations is in, so they can actually hit those horses. Does manage to get a cheeky villager snipe there. I don't know, ox cart snipe. Not the biggest value with the ox cart snipe, but nice villager one. And that does equal out the villagers on both sides. So both getting some equal little raids off. And the Berserk's looking for another raid. But Matty smartly does have his wooden wall up. He did have this wall to start with. There was a forest fire, so he's closed up that gap nicely. And won't have to think about it until he decides to eat this berry bush. And then he'll have to think about that one there. Looks like Matty is looking for something similar. LordHaart is on the kind of pincer maneuver. If these Berserks can get round, maybe even get some kind of wall off or something. Is there any way to wall? No, it looks like it's a bit too open. Would be nice if it was maybe a little bit more closed off to get like a couple of wall segments down. But now the horses are a little bit too far away that even if he does get something like... It looks like the wall could potentially go up, but like I said, the Herdman a little bit too far away. The horses should be able to get through and run away. Looks like they didn't go for this one though, so it's actually a pretty decent fight. I think Matty thought that he could take it before the Herdman came in, and only lost one horse to one Berserk there, so pretty even trade to be honest. Tang Blue is so handsome. This guy with his two accounts, which are basically 2K in a month. You gotta be selling courses, making videos. For sure. Now Matty does have his heavy in, so this is the kind of the big thing about going up to the next stage. Obviously, you do get your heavy upgrades. They're still countered by maybe not the majority. The Berserks trade in pretty well. Maybe now Thracian horses is in. The Berserks don't trade in as nicely as they did earlier. It's the Berserk upgrade, so it's literally just we've got speed and extra damage rest smith unit. So it's just the speed that we've got there. No unique upgrades for this one. I guess that is the one thing about Odin is you can't get Forseti, you can't get Bragi, so you don't get the extra armor or anything. It's literally just that speed. So the Raiders going to go have a look on this side. I love these walls coming up. Basically forcing Matty away from this position, or at least if he wanted to move over here, then Cragghack, LordHaart, knows exactly where he's going. And town center as well, trying to be grabbed. I think Matty thought about putting a stop to it, realized they're herdmen, and just go, nah, definitely not worth it. It's kind of interesting to see this decision being made of, I want even more population to stay in the classical age rather than trying to match the heroic age on this side. Matty does make the decision to go, actually, I built enough horses, which I think I agree with that decision, and he's going into some Hippaspis, the absolute brutal counter to... Oh, looks like there was a little bit of a raid down here. Absolute brutal counter to these herdmen. And even just some archers too. The centaurs are obviously always a nice choice, but deciding to not really mass those ones out. I guess when you start to mass them, then you get the Goadie to deal with. Though the Goadie would be nice for the Hippias to go into, so that is just something to keep in the back of your mind. Disablot tech coming in just to make those Valkyries heal up a little bit quicker. Do some more deeps. Is the deeps? I always forget what it does. I only get it for the healing, to be honest. The healing is so good. Baiting. Absolute baiting Matty in to these Crenellations Towers. Just managed to take out a Centaur, which is pretty high value. The slow Odin army, because he's gone full infantry, is down here, though. You do have to watch out for that one. But now Matty is somewhat out of position. There's nothing for him to really attack here. All the villagers are elsewhere, whereas Cragghack going straight after the gold mine, which is going to spawn some militia, which there's enough Oliver the Peacock to deal with those ones. And the infantry for Matty, they're only medium, so not really getting that full value of being in the third age. But there is a little bit of a bronze. Cragghack just decides, yep, force the bronze, get out of there. This is kind of the issue with the pathing when you have units moving through two different places. They don't know which way to go. So nicely corrected on that. It's just something, even though pathing's fixed, it's just a quirk of the game. You just got to know that that's kind of a thing. There is a little bit of a Hydra action going on this side. Don't want to feed them too many heads by just sending normal units there. Need to just send literally just a couple of hearses that way, or maybe a Goadie over the fence, which is exactly what Cragghack wants to do. Unfortunately, that fence is going to be broken, and that will be a dead Goadie. I always find these slow armies really difficult to play when you're up against someone so speedy in those Hippias. I guess maybe the Berserks aren't that slow. I mean, they are 5.3 speed. So he's getting the better of these trades, though. Taking out the Hippaspis with old Bjorn on this backside. Valkyrie will be able to heal up the units pretty nicely. And then on another raid, trying to find this side, there was a wooden wall up, but the wooden wall should go down pretty quickly. Matty can come and repair this and then get some units over here. Pretty sharpish, but I mean, he's nowhere near. So this could be a pretty fat raid. Unfortunately, went for the one next to this tree, so a couple of these horses aren't really helping out. But Matty trying to push on this side, and it's just a pure classical age spam of units here. Does potentially have the resources to go up to the next stage, but maybe thinking about a fight, thinking he needs to replenish after he takes this one, rather than going up to the next stage, having to wait before he takes that fight, and that is exactly what he's doing. Just going straight for it. I assume these are straight on this Hydra. Need to make sure to micro those herdmen onto the horses. Matty trying to definitely get those Hippaspis to take them out, but they're going after horses, so the herdmen are actually doing pretty decently. Looks like such an even fight, though. Berserks on this backside. Berserks, as soon as they go onto those archers, though, they do go down so quick. Berserks do have to worry. There's so many low HP Hippaspis, and they are actually being taken out pretty nicely. The thing is, though, the Odin has a defender's advantage here. If we move over to his perspective, what have we got? We've got all the buildings, all the buildings here. 5 longhouses, 4 great halls, all click to go this way. So even though it was an even fight, eventually the Odin does manage to take that one, and he does take a little bit of a small lead here. Actually, pretty big lead. Population from Matty's side, he lost a lot there. Looks like he didn't really have the resources to actually replenish that one. His town center did come up a little bit later. I was kind of not paying attention to Matty's second town center, but it was definitely later. Nice little hit back there. He's going to lose a Hippias for his trade. It's distracting a lot of units if you can get something done at this point, but not too much from Matty's side. The issue is here is he's going to run out this gold mine. He does have this one on this side. If he can get another fortress up, it's quite kind of expensive at this point. If he can get something up to defend this one, or even just swing his army around here, going to have to do something like that. And another town center. Staying classical, another town center. I think it's going town center while he's going up through Skadi. He's literally just 70 resources off. He'll be able to get that one very quickly. Is getting out a few more herdmen, though, to deal with those hippies. I think it's always a decent shout when you're in a position like this and you're going up to the next age, whether that's Heroic Age or Mythic Age, just grab a town center while you're doing it. No reason not to, basically. Well, no reason not to. It's just it's always a nice play. I mean, I assume it has carryover. I watch Hero play AoE 2 and he says that's a good thing to do. So I write that down. Toxotes on this side. Do you kind of have to worry about those, especially now the Watchtowers is in. And yeah, Watchtowers is in. Do have to run away. And Skadi. It's going to be the choice. And then, yeah, definitely like this play. Get your third town center. Start kind of getting to grips with the map. Make sure that you know exactly which gold mine the Poseidon is on. Do something with this one. You've walled off everything else. The only thing you really have to worry about is this one. And then you know that he will be here. And you can just basically do a full attack on this one area right here. Oh, coming in for a cheeky return raid. Units do get a bit confused, unfortunately. So the villager will be able to get out. And the heavy hippias will be enough to deal with this one. There are some Valkyries, though. But yeah, especially when those Toxotes come over. But distracting pretty nicely to be able to attack this one. There is, well, 800 gold left in that gold mine. So maybe that was a little bit preemptive of me, but still. And then does have the Frost. I'd like to see how he uses the Frost. I think Frost is such a strong god power that, I mean, we barely see because we don't really see Norse very much right now, at least at the top level. Just pure, just some Jarl coming in. I mean, Jarl are great tanks, you know, they can tank damage really well, so then you have your herdmen and you're throwing axemen to deal with the damage. The issue is that does kind of let the Poseidon go into those low gold cost units in the Prodromus that he kind of wants to go anyway, and it is the 4TC heroic though. I guess he was classical when he got that one up. Going in for another raid, trying to be so annoying. Adding Valkyries to your raids is so good because it means that Matty really needs to commit something back here to actually defend it. He needs at least one hero. I mean, he only has 3, so it's a pretty nice to force the Poseidon to do something there. Maybe the Frost Giant's getting a little bit too antsy. But now, I mean, the Odin is in just a commanding spot. Basically going to be 100 villagers, up 30 villagers. Oops. And constantly raiding as well. So all of these farms. How many farms is this? Maybe not on this side. Let's not say 36. But it's about 20 farms. He's just idling constantly. And the Frost is going to be used. Did he hit the gold miners? He hit the gold miners too. Just so nice. Ceasefire down. Nice play from Matty to stop the fortress from being attacked. But maybe he was a little bit too keen. I think maybe ceasefire after, like for the last 30 seconds of the Frost, even towards the end of the Frost where maybe you've got 25 seconds left. So that means that the Odin can't come in and start building everywhere. I mean, maybe he can start building everywhere, but he can't bring all his units into position to take out the fortress beforehand. But the Odin respects it. Who's this blue player? This blue player is Cragghack. Again, just constantly idling these farms on this side, and then it should be able to siege down this side if he wants to get some siege weapons out of his many hill forts now. So Matty's trying to get out, but he is down 4 TC to 2 TC. It's going to be pretty rough for him to get out of this position. Does have 119 favor, so could potentially save up for another bronze to really push out, but it's going to be a kind of an uphill battle anyway. And now the boys come in. The portable rams will be able to come in, take out that fortress. Actually tanking the Toxotes fire pretty nicely. Unlike Matty to kind of not focus these ones down, he's just A moving, which is letting Cragghack do some serious damage here. I mean, I guess they will eventually take out everything, but still. Not the most amount of DPS. And there are some guys this side. The fortress should be able to be repaired, but the Poseidon, he just has no gold in the bank. No gold at all. Whereas LordHaart here has all the gold spent on Frost Giants, upgraded to Frost Giants. At that, it's going to go up to that 260 population to a potential 190. Only 126 so far. 100 population up. You can literally just queue all the buildings here, which is exactly what it is. The 12 longhouses. Just spam them in. Spam units. Don't really have to think now. You've done the hard work. Spam them in. Shield Maiden Valkyrie coming through. Frost Giants on this side. They're pretty decent siege weapons. Can take out a fortress. And Cragghack does manage to take out the absolute titan that is Matty. Cragghack, yeah, he's on an absolute tear. So you gotta watch out for him.